And right now, as we come on the air with you at 5 o'clock, a live look from our Metro Cam, looking at a pretty partly sunny Louisville. We are getting new updated information, though, tonight on the timing of possible severe weather once again. Our team of meteorologists are going to have an hour-by-hour breakdown at who's going to be in line for the worst of the weather. Plus, continuing coverage of Kentucky's tornado nightmare, those same folks under the threat again. Hello, everybody. I'm Doug Proffitt.
And I'm Connie Leonard. We have team coverage of tonight's storms here at 5. Up first, Chief Meteorologist Mallory Schnell with the latest. Hey, Mallory.
Good evening, you two. We do have a tornado watch for our southernmost counties. This will take us through 10 o'clock Central Time, 11 o'clock Eastern Time tonight. So you can see anywhere we're dealing with those pinks here. For us, this stretches from Litchfield down to Columbia, those areas down to the south and west from there. Now, if we do take a look at the satellite and radar, we have had 2 rounds of showers and thunderstorms so far today. We have been lucky in that there have been no severe warnings on those 2 rounds for us. That second round pushed quickly off to the east, and now we're watching this 3rd round around Paducah once again. This will be pushing east northeastward, so this system will be coming in from the southwest here. You can see a few of these yellow boxes, severe thunderstorm warnings, and then within that a tornado warning. So that's what we're really watching closely, that damaging wind threat and also a spin-up tornado threat along that leading line. Storm fuel definitely has recovered after those first 2 rounds of showers and thunderstorms. Temperatures have increased throughout the day very quickly, back into the upper 70s and lower 80s after being in the 60s with all of that rainfall around midday. Dew points have increased as well, 60s and 70s. So once again, this is all fuel ingredients for any kind of strong storms this evening. Latest timing looking to be after about 6 p.m. for our southwestern counties. This line will roll in from southwest to northeast, taking us through 9, 10, maybe 11 o'clock at the very latest there with that main severe weather threat. And once again, we're talking damaging winds, heavy rainfall especially, but tornadoes cannot be ruled out along that leading edge, especially along and south of the parkways. Of course, we'll be talking much more about this severe weather threat and take a look at our extended forecast coming up in just a bit. But for now, I'll toss it back to you all.
People are going to be carrying a lot of trauma and grief with them, and we've got to be there for them today, tomorrow, next week, next year, and over the years it takes to rebuild.
Governor Andy Beshear today talking directly to WHAS11 as he arrived at the London airport today. It's going to be a long road ahead, not just rebuilding the structures, but healing communities as they're under a threat of more severe weather tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. And John, we were talking just a few minutes ago about how the governor has asked the folks in the worst communities that had the worst damage to go ahead and get out of there tonight because of the debris that'll be flying.
Great move by the governor, okay? Because we have more severe thunderstorm warnings heading that way. We have a lot of wind heading that way. If you have friends in Somerset and London, you tell them it's coming again. But one more wave and then we're done. There's an unconfirmed tornado southwest of Nashville right now. We'll be watching the weather tonight. There's a weather radio outage. Have your WHA app up tonight.
Something I've never seen before. You have been in storm damaged areas where 2 days later another storm comes along. In this case, the governor ordered a mandatory evacuation there for 2 neighborhoods in London starting at 6 p.m. tonight. I've never seen anybody get ahead of it like that.
Yes, he's very proactive. Of all the legislative folks I've ever worked with,
but why is that so important?
Because we have debris on the ground and there's going to be stuff flying, and these folks have lost everything. And this is so dangerous right now, and they're going to get hit again. I feel awful for them. Awful.
Well, and he did that by calling the state of emergency on Friday.
He did. He's very proactive. He really is.
They're using bus and other transportation to get them out of there until 11 o'clock.
Yeah, and then finally some quieter weather.
All right. Okay. Thank you, John, for that update. John will be with us through the evening. Once again, we're ahead of the storm for you tonight with our veteran storm trackers.
Reed Yaden and storm chaser John Humphreys are focusing on where that storm will approach first. So, Reed, where are you right now?
Okay, we're in the northern edge of the watch box area. We're just pulling into Grayson County. We're right along the Western Kentucky Parkway, and we'll give you a view of the out of doors here. Clouds have thickened up a little bit. We're getting some limited sunshine down here. Temperatures running in the low 80s. That's kind of the scene setter that you see there beside the screen. Now, what we're going to do is simply stage here for the time being. We're watching the same weather that Mallory and John are watching. That's the weather coming out of Paducah there. Going to move in our direction. And then as it begins to move, we'll decide what our play is going to be and what's going to be happening. It looks like that will be the show, if you will. That will be it when that line comes through. and it'll move on up toward you and move across the viewing area. That will probably be it for the night once it moves, and it's going to be a much earlier night than it was last Friday night. So at the moment, it's wait and see. This watch box area is down to the southwest of Louisville. No doubt, if needed, as the line begins to move, that watch box can probably will be extended perhaps to the north in the viewing area as the evening goes on. But for now, we're going to stay here for the moment in the Grayson County area, but we're prepared to move. We found a good spot down here, frankly. Gives us a good view, and it's a good launch area that lets us go just about in any direction, being equidistant from a number of cities that we want to hit. So for now, we are here. We're here with you throughout the evening, along with John and Mallory and the whole team. Reed Yaden reporting live from Storm Chase 11.
Appreciate that, Reed. The dangerous storm heading through our area, also taking aim once again at Laurel County, Kentucky, where they've already had heavy rain earlier this afternoon. It, of course, is a community still trying to clean up after the major tornado from late Friday night.
Now, the death toll has not risen since Saturday. And again, tonight, Governor Andy Beshear has announced mandatory evacuations in hopes of keeping it that way. As we've mentioned, people in the two neighborhoods with the most damage will be asked to leave their property by 6 tonight. Alexandra Goldberg and photojournalist Emma Gefter are live in Laurel County this evening. Alexandra, the curfew is designed to protect people from that debris, right?
Yeah, Connie, Doug, it's the debris flying that's the biggest threat. But let me give you a look at what I'm seeing right now. It is pure silence here in Sunshine Hills. There is no one here cleaning up their homes. There are no cars driving by except for those emergency vehicles, making sure that everyone is obeying that mandatory evacuation. Just before we went on air at 4 p.m. today, there were torrential rains. It's probably pretty hard to see right now with the sun out, but it's caused all of this damage. Pretty soggy, and that's just a tease what officials are expecting for later this evening.
Look at my street, you'll see there's almost total devastation except for my house and the house across the street.
It's 2 days after a major tornado, and now more severe storms are on the way. It triggered a precautionary evacuation of 2 neighborhoods by the governor. They must be out by 6 p.m. tonight.
I would rather stay home and protect my own property, but you can't protect it from nature.
Without access to the internet, homeowners like Tom Addington are waiting for officials to knock on doors.
I'm hoping they don't.
It's a mandatory evacuation with emergency officials providing transportation. The governor envisioning the worst all over again.
You look at all these piles where that stuff is going to be whipping through the air.
Governor, tonight's mandatory evacuations, how frequently are these issued?
Rarely. It's that serious. I mean, when was the last time that we had 2 neighborhoods devastated by a tornado that's going to have 60-mile-an-hour wind coming, about 48 hours after?
Governor Andy Beshear says the most impacted communities like the Sunshine Hills subdivision will have to leave their homes until 11 p.m. on Tuesday. In an exclusive interview at the London Corbin Airport, the governor told WHAS11 more weather is the biggest concern.
Tonight, don't take any chances. Get somewhere safe. Ride this part out. It'll be over before you go to bed this time. Let's make sure everybody gets through it.
Security footage from the London Corbin Airport shows the moment the tornado came through on Wednesday, leaving this behind.
It was almost like it was a war zone.
That's Hobie Daughtery with the London police, touring us through smashed planes, crushed hangars, in piles of debris.
You know, obviously property's property, but you know, with lives being lost, those are irreplaceable.
Now preparing for another round with an aggressive plan to evacuate everyone surrounded by the rubble. The goal, to save lives in London. To give you a little bit of perspective here, these are the mounds of debris that we're talking about. These have grown significantly as people are starting to clear out that debris from their homes. Again, this is what officials are worried about becoming airborne in tonight's storm. We're live in Laurel County. Alexandra Goldberg, WHAS11 on your side. Connie, Doug.
All right, Alexander, thank you. And a reminder that emergency weather radios from NOAA are down for maintenance as the severe weather rears its ugly head late this afternoon. We talked with meteorologist Mike Kachasik of the Louisville National Weather Service about this timing.
There's a nationwide contract where we have contractors working on that computer system to ensure that it works. We are on the schedule. We were on the schedule for several months, in advance, and unfortunately, all the stars aligned for it to be a bad time.
Well, he encourages Kentuckians stay informed with television, local radio, or cell phone alerts. As John and Mallory have been saying, now's the best time for you to download our free WHAS11 app. We send out those important life-saving alerts as storms move through your area.
Even giving a shout out to WHAS11. Download that free WHAS11 app. Also happening right now, we want to tell you about the first of the two-hour public meetings for the two men who are in Louisville right now. One is hoping to get picked as the next leader of JCPS. And this is live right now from our team covering this meeting for you. The first meeting held on Newburgh Road, and Dr. Brian Yearwood, who up until last year was leading the Columbia, Missouri School District, is now speaking for the first time. Ben Schuldiner led off the speaking here at 4 o'clock. He just wrapped up. Schuldiner, the current superintendent of Lansing, Michigan. Again, Yearwood, who up until last year was a superintendent, left that job. They've been taking questions. They're going to take questions until 6 p.m. at this location. Now, here's what Ben Schuldiner said moments ago.
So here, I would say my priorities are student achievement. My priorities are also teacher engagement, because there is a large turnover right now. It's also hard. There's vacancies. We've got to make sure that the teachers are being supported. But I'm not going to stand here and tell you I have all the answers. What I'm going to stand here and say is I work with people. Putting your best and your brightest.
Brian Yearwood, you're going to hear from him coming right up tonight at the top of the hour. You see a large crowd turned out here. Both Schuldiner and Yearwood are next going to head to Stouffer Elementary School in eastern Jefferson County. That meeting starting at 7 p.m. Board Chairman Corey Scholl has told us that they plan to choose a superintendent Thursday and then announce their choice to the public by Friday of this week.